30 pieces of silver. That was the price. In the ancient world, 30 pieces of silver was the legal compensation for a slave who had been killed. It was written in Exodus 21:32. That was what a human life was worth at the bottom of the social ladder. Judas Iscariot, one of the 12 men Jesus personally chose, sold his teacher, his rabbi, his friend, for the price of a dead slave. And he did it for the money. But here is what most people miss about Judas. He didn't wake up one morning and decide to betray Jesus. The betrayal was the last step in a long, slow financial corruption that started years earlier. Judas's story is not just ancient history. It is a warning about what happens when money becomes more important than mission, when small financial compromises go unchecked. And it could happen to any of us. Today we're going to trace Judas's financial downfall, step by step, from trusted treasurer to history's most infamous traitor. Before we can understand how Judas fell, we have to understand where he started. Because Judas was not an outsider, he was not a spy planted by the Pharisees, he was chosen, personally, by Jesus. Luke 6 tells us Jesus spent an entire night in prayer before selecting his 12 disciples. This was not a casual decision. Every name on that list was deliberate, and Judas Iscariot was on it. Among the 12, Judas was given a specific role. John 12:6 tells us he carried the money bag. He was the treasurer, the one trusted with the group's finances. Think about what that means. Jesus, who knew the hearts of all people, gave the money to Judas. He entrusted the group's finances to a man he knew would eventually betray him. Why? Because Jesus understood something about money that Judas didn't. Money reveals. It doesn't corrupt out of nowhere. It exposes what was already inside. And what was inside Judas? John tells us plainly. John 12:6. He did not say this because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. As keeper of the money bag, he used to help himself to what was put into it. He used to help himself to what was put into it. That phrase, used to, means it was habitual, ongoing, not one moment of weakness, a pattern. Judas was skimming, taking a little here, a little there, probably telling himself it wasn't much, that he deserved it, that nobody would notice. This is how financial corruption always starts, not with the big betrayal, with the small compromise, the expense you fudge, the income you don't report, the generosity you redirect to yourself. Every time Judas reached into that money bag and took what wasn't his, he told himself a story. Maybe, I work harder than the others. Or, Jesus doesn't understand how money works. Or, this is just practical. Someone has to look out for themselves. And each time, the theft got easier. The guilt got quieter. The distance between Judas and the mission he was supposed to serve grew wider. Then comes the moment that reveals exactly how far Judas has fallen. John chapter 12. 6 days before Passover, Jesus is having dinner at the home of Lazarus, the man he raised from the dead. A woman named Mary takes a jar of pure nard, an extraordinarily expensive perfume worth a year's wages, and pours it on Jesus' feet. She wipes his feet with her hair. The house fills with the fragrance. And Judas objects. Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? It was worth a year's wages. On the surface, this sounds reasonable, even righteous. A year's wages could feed a lot of people. But John tells us the truth. Judas didn't say this because he cared about the poor. He said it because he wanted the money in the bag, where he could take it. This is the moment you need to study carefully, because Judas used the language of generosity to serve his own greed. He dressed his selfishness in the clothing of compassion. This is one of the most dangerous patterns in financial corruption. The person skimming from the offering calls it stewardship. The pastor inflating expenses calls it ministry needs. The business person cheating clients calls it providing for my family. Judas had been with Jesus for 3 years. He'd heard the Sermon on the Mount. He'd seen miracles. He'd watched Jesus feed 5,000 people with 5 loaves. And still, the money mattered more. This is what unchecked financial compromise does. It doesn't just steal your money, it steals your ability to see clearly. Judas was sitting next to God in human form, and all he could think about was the money bag. Jesus saw it. He saw every coin Judas took, every rationalization, every small betrayal. And he did not stop him. That silence is important. Jesus did not prevent Judas from stealing. He did not take the money bag away, because God does not force faithfulness. He reveals what's inside you and lets you choose. And Judas chose. Matthew 26:14-16. After the dinner at Lazarus' house, after Mary's perfume, after Jesus defended her generosity, Judas goes to the chief priests. And he asks them one question. What are you willing to give me if I deliver him over to you? Read that question again. What are you willing to give me? Not how can we serve justice? Not he must be stopped. What will you pay me? Even the betrayal was a financial transaction. They counted out 30 pieces of silver, the price of a dead slave, and Judas took it. Later that night, in the Garden of Gethsemane, Judas leads the soldiers to Jesus, and he identifies him with a kiss. The most intimate gesture of friendship turned into a transaction marker. Jesus said to him, "Do what you came for, friend." Friend, even now, even at the end, Jesus called him friend. Jesus was arrested. Judas walked away with his 30 coins. And then something happened that nobody expected. Matthew 27:3-5. When Judas saw that Jesus was condemned, he was seized with remorse. He took the 30 pieces of silver back to the chief priests, and he threw them onto the temple floor. And he said, "I have sinned. I have betrayed innocent blood." The priests answered, "What is that to us? That's your responsibility." The money was worthless to him now. The thing he had chased, the thing that had slowly replaced his loyalty, his friendship, his mission, it meant nothing. He couldn't spend it. He couldn't keep it. He couldn't even look at it. Judas went out and hanged himself. The money did not save him. It did not satisfy him. It did not even comfort him in the end. And the priests, the men who paid him, picked up the coins and said, "It is against the law to put this into the treasury, since it is blood money." So they used it to buy a potter's field, a burial ground for strangers. Judas's story is not ancient history. It is a mirror. Most of us will never betray someone for 30 coins, but the pattern that destroyed Judas is operating in every life where money has taken priority over faithfulness. Here is what Judas teaches us. 1. Small financial compromises compound. Every coin Judas took made the next one easier. Every boundary you cross makes the next crossing feel normal. 2. Money will use the language of righteousness to justify itself. Judas said, "Give to the poor." He meant, "Give to me." Watch for the moment when your financial self-interest starts dressing itself in spiritual language. 3. The money you chase will never satisfy. Judas got exactly what he asked for. 30 pieces of silver, and it destroyed him. The acquisition was the emptiest moment of his life. 4. It is never too late to turn back, until it is. Judas felt remorse. He returned the money. He confessed. But he could not undo what he had done. The time to stop was before the transaction, not after. The difference between Judas and Peter is not the size of the failure. Peter denied Jesus 3 times that same night. The difference is what they did next. Peter repented and returned. Judas despaired and destroyed himself. Your financial failures do not have to end like Judas, but they will if you never stop walking in the wrong direction. The steward's path is not the path of Judas. It is not the path of small compromises that compound into catastrophe. It is the path of integrity, even when no one is watching, even when the money bag is in your hands and nobody would notice. 30 pieces of silver. That's what it cost Judas. What is it costing you? We'll keep walking together.